I want to go over a California EEE inspection and just the two different workflows available. So this whole thing comes down to a chapter for each element. So if we want to add chapters and rename them, you come up to the three dots up here. And so we could, we could copy chapter or we could rename chapter. So let's copy one, and then we'll call this, rather than element 1, we could call this North Balcony. All right, so now we've got, let's go look at our template real quick. You can see we've got element 1 and North Balcony. We could rename element 1. So we'll come up here and rename this Entry Stairs. Okay, so now let's look at our template we've constructed. Boom, we've got a chapter for each section. So let's say there's another element. We will copy chapter and call this Second Floor South Balcony. Boom. So you might want to go through later and kind of make all these capitalized if you want, but you can see how quickly on site we're just molding the template to fit. Okay, so that's your first workflow. Then the second workflow is, let's go into one of these. So we're basically going to take an overview picture of the element. So we're going to click that, and we'll take a picture of my yard, and that's our first element, and that's just an overview picture, so we're done with that. Now we get into what the law requires. We're inspecting the flashing, so inspected serviceable, membranes, inspected defective. So we now have a place we could put a picture. So if you want to, we can kind of snap pictures of what is defective of the membrane. Now that's one of the options for workflow. The other option is, we'll finish this and I'll show you. Let's say everything else is serviceable here. So inspected serviceable, inspected serviceable, inspected, or we'll call this one not applicable. So here's your other workflow. Rather than putting pictures right into these sort of descriptive comments, you could choose to use a single gunny sack. So here we've got repairs needed. We're going to open this up. This is a huge gunny sack where you can go through and select your problems. You could take pictures of everything and we can just fire them off here. And this could be flashings, and it could be membranes, and it could be something else. And boom, now we got our 4 pictures. If you want, you could caption them, you know. The membrane is failing at the northwest balcony. So that would be a workflow here. And then what you could do is use this gunny sack comment either on site or later and select what applies. So maybe the ledger board hasn't been bolted, lateral load ties are missing, that kind of thing. So I'd love some feedback on which workflow you guys prefer. The final thing here is just the end. So expected useful life, let's just say that we need repairs here within the next 6 months, and that we're going to recommend a re-inspect. So now we've kind of done that element for the most part. You've got that all filled out. So you may or may not want to use this, and I'd love some feedback on that. If you prefer just using the gunny sack, then we would delete these so that you don't even do it. You just choose a comment, choose one gunny sack, put all your pictures in there, and then choose what applies. And that's probably how I think I would do it, but I want to leave that up to you guys. All right, thanks.